Lots of big stories took new turns on Raw this week, so we'll see everything that's new from Becky Lynch, Kairi Sane, Seth Rollins, and much more. Starting things off with everything related to the women's #1 contenders Battle Royal match. One of the biggest moments from this match actually came before it started. Becky Lynch was attacked by Xia Li before the both of them entered the match. Becky was unable to take part in the Battle Royal due to the attack, and Adam Pearce removed Xia Li from the Battle Royal following the attack on Becky Lynch. In actuality, it appears that WWE wrote Becky Lynch out of the Battle Royal because the biggest rumor that's out there is that they're saving Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania 40. So Becky wasn't winning the Battle Royal and didn't want Becky to lose any momentum by losing and coming up short in the battle. So it looks like writing Becky out of the match beforehand was a way to continue and save the future matchup with Rhea Ripley, and save Becky from taking the Battle Royal loss. So in that sense, it was a great way to protect Becky Lynch all around. And it appears that Becky will now enter a feud with Xia Li, which will be an exciting opportunity for Xia Li because she's already been on the main roster for a little while now, but never really had a full feud with anyone. So for her to now be feuding with Becky Lynch is a pretty big deal. And especially while Becky was NXT champion, her character made it known that she wanted to help women that weren't getting enough opportunities. And even though she may not be NXT Women's Champion anymore, it looks like Becky is still helping women who don't get enough opportunities, because now Xia Li has a big platform of working with Becky Lynch. So hopefully Xia Li could make the most out of this opportunity. And even before the attack went down, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax even came face to face and exchanged some words with one another. Back when Nia first returned in September, we discussed how it'll be cool to get a feud between Nia and Becky, since they have so many things to say to each other given all their history. And it doesn't seem like we're getting that feud right now, but they definitely set the foundation down for it for the future. Nia Jax told Becky that she's about to be the happiest she's ever been since she broke Becky's face, referring to the 2018 broken nose incident. Becky Lynch responded by saying after that happened, she went on to win the main event of WrestleMania, while Nia Jax went on to get fired. So it's not a fully blown feud quite yet, but it was still very interesting and fun to at least see them exchange some blows like that. And as far as the new #1 contender for the women's world title goes, that honor now belongs to Zoey Stark. Rhea Ripley and Zoey Stark will meet at Survivor Series. No one is really giving Zoey any real shot of winning the title since Rhea is expected to carry her title into WrestleMania 40. But it's still extremely nice to see new faces involved in the world title picture, and hopefully Zoey can use this opportunity to continue and build her momentum. During this week on Raw, Seth Rollins' story continued to go down the same path it's been headed in for a while now, and that's the direction of Seth Rollins going full speed ahead and not knowing how to slow down, taking things easy, and just pace himself. Remember that after beating Nakamura, Seth Rollins was confronted by Drew McIntyre, who wanted a world title match. And after just battling Nakamura, Seth was willing to put his title on the line right away against Drew McIntyre that night on Raw. And it was Drew who stopped that from happening and said that he wanted to give Seth time to recover until Crown Jewel. So if it was a different kind of person, they probably would have taken Seth Rollins up on that offer to a world title match right away and would have taken advantage of Seth. But that match ended up taking place at Crown Jewel, and Seth was still extremely beat up after that match. And if it wasn't for Sami Zayn stealing the Money in the Bank from Damian Priest, chances are that Seth would have been cashed in on. So during this November 6th edition of Raw, Seth thanks Sami Zayn for saving him from the cash-in by offering Sami a world title match that same night on Raw. And this is the same sort of behavior and arc from Seth that we've been talking about and discussing, how it'll catch up to him eventually, and it'll be the reason for the end of his title reign. He just came out of another long title defense battle with Drew McIntyre just a few days earlier at Crown Jewel, and Seth himself is the one that suggests the idea to put the world title on the line against Sami Zayn just 2 days after his last title defense. It's not like it was Sami's idea and Seth was honoring it. No, not at all. It was Seth's idea to have that title match, and he's the one that brought the idea to the table. So it's not to say that Seth's character isn't intelligent, but he definitely loves putting his title reign in harm's way when it doesn't really have to be. And we get it. Like he's mentioned hundreds of times, he wants to be a fighting champion. He wants to be opposite of what Roman Reigns is. Roman defends his title 4 to 5 times a year. Seth would love to defend his title 4 to 5 times in a week if you let him. So we definitely see and understand Seth's motivation, but it's just a pace that's impossible to keep up with and will eventually catch up to him down the road. And sure, he came out on top on both Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn a few days apart. But despite the victories, his back could be in a very bad state, and that leaves him very vulnerable for the immediate future. So Seth is continuing to live life on the edge with his fighting champion mentality. But hopefully he can keep up with the pace that he's operating in, or else it's going to be a heartbreaking way of him losing the world title. Kairi Sane has just made her long-awaited WWE return after being away from the company for 4 years. And her return is off to a hot start, with her getting in the way of things with Damage CTRL. And fans are running wild with lots of fun and interesting theories for Kairi Sane's return. Fans have been discussing the idea of Kairi Sane linking back up with her longtime WWE tag team partner, Asuka. Kairi and Asuka accomplished a lot together during their time as a tag team on the main roster. They captured the tag team titles, had great feuds, and they were just one of the greatest pairings the tag team division has seen in quite some time. And they never really broke up or had any serious issues as a tag team. Kairi was just attacked by Sasha Banks and Bayley, while Asuka watched on the screen, and that was it for their last interaction in WWE. And Sasha Banks may no longer be around, but Bayley is still there, and Asuka has been screwed over by Bayley and Damage CTRL several times over the last few months. So what if Kairi and Asuka get their tag team back together to try to go after Bayley and Damage CTRL? And not only try and go after Damage CTRL, but even try and steal arguably the most valuable member, the WWE Women's Champion, Iyo Sky. Now that would put Iyo Sky in quite the predicament because she can either stay with Damage CTRL and keep that going, or leave their side. And considering how bumpy things could get with Bayley at times, what if Iyo does entertain the idea of aligning herself with Kairi Sane and Asuka to form a new 3-women faction? And maybe Kairi and Asuka's main pitch to Iyo is that they'll let her be the leader and follow her, because that appears to be an issue with Damage CTRL. Iyo is the champion and makes several requests to Bayley, but Bayley often ignores what Iyo wants and still does whatever she feels like doing. So what if that's something that helps to push Iyo to leave Damage CTRL? She's probably figuring that Bayley has been ignoring her, and now that one of her close friends is back in WWE and giving her this offer, maybe it's something that does interest her. So that whole situation between Kairi Sane, Iyo Sky, and Damage CTRL will be very interesting to monitor over the next few weeks. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.